This is a travel story. The Green Room, Part 2. After Kevin left, the Green Room was a little less cramped for George and I. Sorta.
Man.
And with such close quarters, he and I became pretty good friends. In fact, I think I'll give him a call now. George.
Hi, Chad.
So what do you remember about the Green Room?
Yeah, so the Green Room was a place that brought a lot of memories. The very first day that I brought you and Kevin to Elmina, I remember when you settled in the room, you brought out the Jack Daniels that I had requested for you to bring it. We went out to watch the football game, and I felt a bit drunk. So I was going to go back to the room to sleep. But unfortunately, I locked the door from inside where no one could come in.
Yeah, we were knocking on your door.
Yeah, because what happened was that, when I went back to the room, I had put this loud music on. So when you guys were knocking on the door, I couldn't hear you.
We would come to learn that George listened to loud music quite a bit, and that he was somewhat of a sleep enthusiast. So it makes sense that he didn't hear us knocking on the door, or banging on it loudly, or yelling through the window. We could see him sleeping there.
Yeah, I woke up in the middle of the night where I couldn't find you and Kevin at the time. I was a bit worried. We were the only two white guys around at the time.
Now imagine having just arrived in another country and driving hours out into a small town where you know no one except for the guy you're staying with, and he has inadvertently locked you out of the place you're staying with all your luggage inside, and on top of that, you don't have a local phone, and so you have no service to contact anyone or look up a place to stay, and it's now starting to get dark. At first we made the most of it. We tried some street food and other things to pass the time, but eventually the town got quiet. We were getting a little tired.
So I remember it was like 4 a.m. where I was going around just to see if I can find you guys, but I didn't, and I was just kind of worried. After 2 hours of looking around and searching, a friend had told me that he saw you guys late in the evening wandering around.
Luckily, at some point in the evening, we saw a couple guys outside watching TV, and one of them was a cab driver. They said they'd take us to a small hotel that was about 10 minutes away.
Yes, I remember in the morning when I met one of my friends, he told me that you guys had gone to a guest house to stay the night.
The next morning, we woke up and looked out onto this town in Ghana and into the face of the next 4 months that lay ahead of us. I was excited. But by breakfast, the exhaustion had kicked in, and I had begun to question all of my life's choices. To be clear, you asked me to bring the Jack Daniels. I wasn't just like, hey George, I brought you some whiskey, now get drunk.
Yes, it was something that I had asked some friends around, like a friend coming from back to the state, what would they also want? And they were like, oh, Jack Daniels would be cool, so we can sip on,
Yeah, it was fun.